We all know we need to eat healthier, but how can we eat healthier? And so I was really looking at it and I was like, how can I attract these people to try new recipes to make the foods that they make at home, but healthier?
The Hearts of Gold podcast is brought to you by the Grow and Share Network, produced by Off the Walter Media.
Welcome to Hearts of Gold. Today we have Supriya with us. Hi, Supriya.
Hi.
Can you tell us about your Girl Scout Gold Award project?
Yeah, so my Girl Scout Gold Award project is named Heartbeet for Healthy. So essentially what Heartbeet for Healthy does, it's these nutrition sessions for lower income communities. So we partner with these facilities and we physically go there. And essentially what we do is we have a PowerPoint with all these nutrients listed out. And we kind of walk them through this recipe. So like, okay, here's all these health benefits of this recipe. And we kind of try to entice them. We're like, look, it's great for your brain. It's great for your heart. And so we really try to make sure that they understand why this is healthy. And we also do a taste testing after that. So we have them try the recipe so they can see, okay, do I like this or do I not like this? And most of the time, we find that most people really, really like the recipes that we make, which is always a great thing to hear, of course. And on the recipe card that we give them, we have a list of the prices. So we always make sure that it's affordable for them. Usually the subtotal of all the ingredients on the recipe is less than $10. So it's something that's very affordable for them. And we try to make sure that they understand what our goal is that they try to make this recipe instead of, getting a burrito at Taco Bell. So we always try to see, okay, this is what typical burrito at Taco Bell costs versus this very healthy, nutritious, affordable recipe that you can make in your everyday household. So that's kind of what we do. We've done over 30 sessions in both California and in Texas combined. We have multiple branches. We are a nonprofit organization. So it's been really great to see it grow from, the seed in my mind to the organization that it is today.
How do you choose your recipes?
My team and I, we really work through it and we think about, okay, what is this community more likely to eat? And what are some recipes that they might not be familiar with, but that we think that they might like based on their palate. So we kind of, brainstorm things that we like. And we're like, okay, how can I make this healthier? So I remember one time we made these Asian chicken lettuce cups, which my friend actually, Darlene Chen, she's one of the people that I work with. She was like, my family and I, we make this sometimes. And so it kind of starts, just us discussing it. Sometimes we also ask for feedback from the people that, the facilities that we go to. We ask the session attendees like, hey, what's something that you want to see next time? We hear like pizza. We're like, okay, let's try to make some healthy pizza then. So we kind of use a bunch of collaborative efforts to try to figure out, okay, how can we, make something that they'll actually try?
And how do you choose the communities that you go into to share these recipes?
We usually have like a long list, we have a huge Excel sheet of pretty much, if we're in this town, we're like, okay, let's figure out all the areas that have food deserts, they don't have the proper access to good, healthy, nutritious food, where there's possibly a lot of fast food restaurants. And then we reach out to, residential neighborhoods or certain, after school childcare facilities. So we reach out to a lot of different places and we're like, hey, this is kind of what we do. Are you interested in partnering with us? And that's kind of how we try to maximize the amount of places that we go to.
So what was the core that prompted this in the very beginning that encouraged you to choose this for your Gold Award project?
I'm a pre-med student. So back in high school, before, I got to college, I was really interested in kind of getting my, hands-on as much healthcare experience as I can. And I was interning at this medical clinic. And, when you intern at these medical clinics, you're kind of, trying to absorb as much knowledge as you can. So I was just, checking in all these patients, and a lot of the concerns that they were coming in with were very much nutrition based. Like the doctor would say, oh, eat healthier, and it's a great thought, like eat healthier. We all know we need to eat healthier, but how can we eat healthier? And so I was really looking at it and I was like, how can I attract these people to try new recipes, to make the foods that they make at home, but healthier. And, I also realized that there was a Taco Bell like 5 or 6 minutes away. And so some of these people would walk in with Taco Bell. I was like, well, that's not very healthy. So I was thinking, okay, how can I address this problem? So I really thought about it. First, I started off with pamphlets. So, I was like, okay, let's have these healthy pamphlets of just how to be healthier. I thought, I was winning a Nobel Prize for that. I thought it was a genius idea. And I went to my Girl Scout liaison and she was like, Supriya, that's not sustainable. That's not something that people would actually think about and make that change in their life. And she was like, how many times have you picked up a pamphlet and have actually, yeah, you've maybe read it through, but I don't think you're using that information in your day-to-day life. And I was like, that's true. So I came up with the idea of offering these recipes and making them affordable and healthy so that they know how to make it. On our recipe cards, we have a step-by-step how to make the recipe while also having all the ingredients and making sure that it's affordable. So it kind of started off as seeing an issue in my community, and it grew into, okay, let's make a large scale impact.
And you started in your community, as you said, and have expanded to where you go to college now with a second cohort. How did that transition happen?
I kept looking out for how can I bring Heartbeet into Baylor, because I do go to Baylor University. And so I was very interested in that. And I was like, okay, how can I find the right people who are interested in my mission while also making sure that we can help people here, Because sometimes you think of an idea in one place and it works really well for that one place. And then you transition it over and then, there are a lot of logistic things to work through. So I really just thought about it and I was like, okay, I put together a great team of girls and we all worked together to kind of essentially convince the Waco community that we are interested in helping them. And, we reached out to many, many different places. And of course, sometimes people don't take you seriously because they don't know who you are. But, you find those one or two people who do take you seriously and then you work with them. And then that way you can build your resume in that community. And so more people are interested in working with you.
What are you looking at for the future of your organization?
I plan to expand wherever I can, and I plan to expand more in California as well, of course, in the Texas community. And then I'm working towards expanding globally, but that's kind of, an inch by inch trek. So, I really want to make sure we can hone down what we have in the places that we're at, and then maybe see if that's something that we can take to a global level.
Who has helped you through this process? Who is on your team?
I've had, of course, my incredible parents who have supported me along the way. I think it's very important to have people who, are on your side, who maybe not be directly involved with the organization, but be, mental support and, things like that. So definitely my mom and dad. Also, I have an amazing team. So we have the general Heartbeet team. So it's myself and two other girls, Darlene and Sophia. So I work with them on a day-to-day basis. And then also I have the people that I work with, at Baylor to kind of make Heartbeet work there as well. So we work in different locations. There are different teams, but we all have the same mission. And I think that's why it works so seamlessly, is because we all know what we set out to do and we all know what we want to do.
You did not join Girl Scouts as a daisy. Can you share what prompted you to join and when you joined Girl Scouts?
Actually, joining Girl Scouts was a decision that I made. This happened around 2015. I was really interested in joining, an organization that does community service. That was something I was very passionate about. Even as a seventh grader, I knew that I wanted to be part of an organization that does that so that I can continue that for the rest of my life. Because I strongly believed, which I know it's a little weird, but as a seventh grader, I knew that whatever I did in that year was kind of like stepping stones for my future. So I definitely was looking into organizations. And what I really loved about Girl Scouts was there was that finish, there was that start to finish situation. And you work with them over and over again for so many years. I had an amazing troop leader, Miss Kelly Black. And, she encouraged me. She helped build my confidence. And that was something that I don't think joining any other community service organization would have done, because they care about you. They stay with you, they encourage you. And honestly, I can say that my confidence was really built by being in Girl Scouts, because I had to do public service, speeches, and I feel like that encouraged me to pursue my silver award and my gold award, which I don't think I could have done without the foundation that my troop leader and my troop set for me.
What other Girl Scout experiences have you had?
Yeah, so I did my silver award and gold award. I also did all the journeys. We did some, community service projects when I was part of the troop. Last year, in May 2022, I was invited back to speak at a Girl Scout award ceremony as, their featured speaker for being a gold award recipient. So that's been an amazing experience. I was so glad that I was invited to speak. And, I love speaking to other girls about my Girl Scout Gold Award experience because I think it's a very unique experience to have. And, I want to encourage as many girls as possible to take that journey. It's very daunting at first, but it always gets easier, and it's an amazing journey to go through.
You mentioned that you're on the pre-med track at Baylor. What are you looking at in your future?
I aspire to be a physician, so that's definitely a goal in my mind. I think being part of Heartbeet and, seeing the issues that people in a healthcare setting face has really impacted the way that I view how I want to be a physician in the future. And so that's definitely why the entire idea of Heartbeet came from seeing this issue in a healthcare setting. So when I do become, a physician in the future, hopefully, fingers crossed, I can, use what I learned from Heartbeet as kind of a stepping stone, into what I aspire to do in the future.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience?
As a Girl Scout, a lot of the things you think that you should do, it has to come from you. You can't have a parent or a leader or anyone around you, encourage you to do something. It has to come from you. When I was doing my awards, it came from because I wanted to make a change in this world. I wanted to make an impact. So I think it's very important to have a voice and to use your voice to make a change. You might not fix the problem, but you can help alleviate the problem. You can't solve all the problems in the world, but take one and try to help it, try to help solve it. So I think that's definitely something I would tell my Girl Scouts. And also have, confidence in what you're saying. I think that's very important. A lot of the times people won't take you seriously. Most of the time when you're doing anything in life, you're always going to be the bottom of the totem pole. So I think making sure that people hear your voice and understand what you're saying and tell them, no, I'm here to stay. And, you can't force me to think otherwise. So never put yourself in a box that everyone in society wants to put you in.
How do you make your s'mores?
I actually personally don't like s'mores, which I know is a controversial opinion. I like the s'mores cookies. That's the only s'mores I like. But I do make s'mores for my brother because he likes the way I make them. Because, when I was a Girl Scout, we did learn, special ways to make s'mores. So I add M&Ms to my s'mores. And I don't eat them, but I give them to my brother.
I have not heard M&Ms before. That's interesting. Well, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Make sure to click follow or subscribe so you always know when new episodes are released. Power your passion and conquer your challenges.
Thank you for listening. If you'd like to be on the show to share your story of how you earned your gold award, reach out and send an email to growandsshare@outlook.com. Be sure to catch up on our previous shows on any of your favorite podcasting platforms, as well as view the full video versions at youtube.com/Cheryl M. Robinson. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.